Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the First Class Sports Podcast. My name is Bobby. Today is September 7th, 2023. As you can see, I have nobody with me. And as you can probably tell if, looking at a calendar, today's Thursday, not Wednesday, as we normally record on Wednesdays. We had a few hiccups already. They should not happen often. I don't even have our editor, Kevin, here. He apologizes. But we still want to get these episodes out. Last episode, Eric and I were covering the NFL, and we were covering just who we thought, division by division, who we thought was going to win and be good and maybe, make it to the playoffs, and we were going to give our Super Bowl prediction. Since I don't have Eric here to finish that, we did the NFC last week, and we were going to finish with the AFC plus our Super Bowl predictions this week. I'm not going to do that because I don't have Eric. So this is really going to just be maybe a little bit of news that I have and our pick'ems for this week, because football starts today. So let me go ahead and give you a little bit of news. For the Chiefs, Travis Kelce, hyperextended, I believe was the word, his knee, and he will be out versus the Lions week 1, which is today's game. Jerry Jeudy with his hamstring, I believe, is still going to be out for his game against the Raiders. Cooper Kupp, I believe, is also still out for the Rams, excuse me. Jonathan Taylor for the Colts. This was going to be in our massive news package. However, I'll just do it here. Jonathan Taylor will open up on the PUP, which means he will miss the first 4 games. Nick Bosa for the San Francisco 49ers just signed a massive contract. So he is, I'm not 100% sure if he was holding out. I may be mistaken. He is going to obviously be back with the team. That is a massive W for the Niners on that defense. As far as Kansas City, I believe it's Chris Jones. Me with my names, if you remember last year, me and my names, I can picture them. Names are kind of hard. That's why I had the 2 people to help me with names. He is still holding out, and this contract that Nick Bosa just got is not going to help anything. He already wanted a bunch of money. The new contract that Nick Bosa just got made him the highest paid D lineman. So I think the Chiefs had leverage there in the beginning, and now I think it may have swung Chris Jones' way. We'll see. But let us get into pick'ems. I do have Eric's picks. You're going to see me bounce back and forth between them. This isn't 100% organized. This is I wanted to get an episode out for you guys. I hated I hated the idea of not giving an episode out to you guys because life got in the way with Eric and Kevin. They had some things come up this week, and we tried our hardest to make it up to see if we could come today, and it just didn't work out. So I'm going to record this by myself and give it to Kevin, and then Kevin's going to make the best of it. Next week, I am pretty much 98% sure I will not have Eric. I am working very hard to either get a guest or I will bully my dad into coming downstairs. He is retired. However, today yesterday, he kind of had his retirement party out with some friends, so he wasn't available. And then today he's going to visit my sister out of state. So he is no longer, he's not available today either. Next week should be fine. So I'll work with you guys there. But again, in the long run, we're trying to give you the content. This was kind of last second. We would have had much more information for you. I apologize. But we do want to give you the pick'ems because I think pick'ems, that was a massive thing last year that we did. I want to have my big trophy here. for 2022. These helmets are some of them are outdated. We're going to try to get updated ones to where you can have the teams. If you really want to look into here, what's going on the table, this is the teams that are playing each other this week. So for week 1 of the NFL of 2023, we open with the Detroit Lions at the Kansas City Chiefs, the defending Super Bowl champions. They will hang their banner. As I said, they will no longer have Travis Kelce, and they also lost a lot of offensive pieces. They lost Mecole Hardman. That offense really relied around Travis Kelce. It's going to be very interesting to see the pass options for Patrick tonight. With that being said, the Lions also ended on an uptick. They got some good new pieces that I like. They lost a few, but I think if Goff isn't a slack, Jared Goff, a lot of people want to hate on him. He was very good. He went to the Super Bowl just 3 years ago? He's not a bad quarterback. With that being said, I am going to take the Detroit Lions in this game. That may be a risky pick. I agree. However, let's see here. Again, I'm going to be bouncing, guys. Eric is also taking the Lions tonight. I'm going to mute those guys. So, we are both taking the Detroit Lions tonight. The next game, going back to regular Sunday football at 1 o'clock, you've got a divisional game in the Carolina Panthers and the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta will be starting, I believe, their second year. How do you say his name? Ritter. So they start I'm not going to say he's a rookie, but this is his second year, and Carolina will start their rookie. Carolina will obviously start their rookie quarterback that they took first overall in Bryce Young. This is going to be a huge test for them. Two young quarterbacks battling it out. I have Falcons here. I think Falcons got a little bit more pieces. This is at home. I don't think Bryce is ready yet. So I'm going to go Falcons, and so is Eric. So far, we're right on the same page. Next is another divisional game, the Battle of Ohio. This is the Cincinnati Bengals at Cleveland Browns. Burrow's injury. Burrow was back practicing, and he is aiming to start week 1. As much as maybe some people want him to sit out a week or two to make sure he's 100% healthy, I just don't think that is who Burrow is. He's going to do everything in his power to start week 1, and I think he will. With that being said, I'm going to take Cincinnati here. I think they have a much better team than Cleveland. We really need to see what Deshaun Watson can do now that he has a full year under his belt, and full offseason, full training camp, full preseason with the Browns. I do think he improves. I just don't think it's going to be enough to win them this opening game. So I'm going Bengals, and so is Eric. Moving on. This is the Jacksonville Jaguars at Indianapolis Colts. You know how I feel, guys. I did it last year. They are prove it to me. I think Indianapolis is not going to be good this year. I am, as much as Eric and Zach like to tease me that I'm not a fan. I truly love the Colts. I just am a realist, and I know that this team is not good at the moment. They have up-and-coming stars. They need to put it together. They are in the top 3, I believe, youngest teams. They are very young. They need to grow. With that being said, Jacksonville has always beaten us. Now, again, you can say Jacksonville beats us in Jacksonville, and we normally take the home game. That was true last year. I went to the Jacksonville game. We played well. But now we don't really have corners. And they got Jacksonville now has Ridley. And that is going to be a massive weapon for Trevor Lawrence, who took his next step into becoming a very, very good quarterback. Anthony Richardson, he's going to need help to develop. He only has like 19 starts at quarterback. He has the pure raw talent. He needs the experience. And our O-line has not shown me, from what I saw, I still saw a lot of issues that need to be corrected, including Quentin Nelson. Our run game, I'm not sold on. I think Deion Jackson and Evan Hull could be very good. However, if Jonathan Taylor was out there, that RPO would be great. Alec Pierce, while looks good in training camp and practices, he's dropping balls in games, and that needs to stop. I'm not sold on Michael Pittman Jr. being the number one wide receiver. I think he's a very, very, very strong number 2. I don't think he has what it takes to be a number 1 right now. He needs to prove it. This is his final year on his contract, on his rookie. He needs to be re-signed. If he's going to be re-signed, he needs to prove it. I think he needs another number 1, Mike Evans. I think even CeeDee Lamb. I think if he had, a Jamar Chase, I think Calvin Ridley's a number 1, and I don't think Michael Pittman Jr. is. Obviously Justin Jefferson, he's a number 1. Stephon Diggs, he's a number 1. I think he needs help. I don't think he has what it takes. So with that, that's going to hurt them. Obviously, that being said, I have Jacksonville taking this. Eric has the Colts. He will always take the Colts. So moving on, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Minnesota Vikings. Tampa Bay moving on with Tom Brady retired, obviously. So now they have Baker Mayfield stepping into their quarterback role. Baker's not a bad quarterback. I think he's slightly above average. I think he can be average at times, but I have seen him play very, very good. Then you have Kirk Cousins on the other side with Justin Jefferson. They did lose Dalvin Cook. They now have Madison. So we will see how their run game does. I do think, being in Minnesota, that this Vikings team is the better team. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here. I think the Vikings take this game. And Eric also has the Vikings. Okay, next. Boy, is this a difficult game. We move on to Tennessee at New Orleans. New Orleans now has Derek Carr as their quarterback. Michael Thomas might be healthy, might not be healthy. Alvin Kamara is suspended the first 3 games. Olave, coming off of his rookie year, who was fantastic. This is now his second year. We will see how this Saints team looks. On the Tennessee side, Tennessee picked up DeAndre Hopkins. They obviously have Derrick Henry, Tannehill. They have Traylon Burke, I believe is his name. However, I don't have much faith in their passing game. I still don't. I think DeAndre Hopkins is basically washed at this point. You can call me silly for that. I think this is where wide receivers go to end their career. They're washed at this point. This one is tough because I don't know how Derek Carr can carry wide receivers. I think he needs a good run game also, and I don't know the run game outside Kamara, so we will see on that. This being in Nolans, I'm going to take New Orleans, as is Eric. Let's move on to another difficult game, in my opinion, the 49ers at Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pickett and Pickens, I'm always going to confuse them. They are a fantastic duo, I think. I think Pickens, no. See, I'm confused. The quarterback, that might be Pickett. He is taking another step. I think he was taking them in the right direction last year. And then, of course, you also have Najee, which I don't have too much faith in Najee. I think Warren is going to be very good for them. I think that defense is going to be stellar. I think that's the one thing that a lot of people really aren't looking at is that defense. I think we're going to see a really, really good just your normal smash mouth defense by Pittsburgh. 49ers, they lost some pieces on defense. Purdy, what are we going to see from Purdy out off of that injury? Kittle, what's his role going to be? CMC, is he going to stay healthy? This is a West Coast team going all the way East Coast and playing at a 1 o'clock time zone. I'm not a fan of that for the West Coast team. I think this is going to be difficult for San Francisco, and to me, this is more of a toss-up than I think a lot of people on paper see it as. I am actually going to go with the upset here and take Pittsburgh. I think if this was later in the year and maybe a later game, I would go with the Niners. Currently, I don't see it like that, and I'm going to go with Pittsburgh. And actually, so is Eric. Eric and I have one difference, and it's the Colts game, I think. Okay. Wow. So, next is the Arizona Cardinals at the Washington Commanders. I'm not spending a lot of time on this. Kyler's out. They're tanking. Arizona's tanking. It is obvious. And in my opinion, I know there's probably not much that can be done about it, but it's obvious and should be somehow investigated. Take their picks away because it is blatantly obvious what Arizona's doing. Arizona's not going to be good. They may win 2 games. Giving them 2 wins would be generous. I'm going Washington here. Arizona is going to be awful. Eric also has Washington. Moving on, Houston at Baltimore Ravens. Hopefully Lamar can stay healthy. Hopefully that running game can stay healthy. Baltimore has had the past 2-3 years, they've had a plethora of running backs get hurt. Every week it seems like a running back is getting hurt. Lamar, I believe, was banged up off and on last year. Let's hope he can stay healthy. They now have an Odell Beckham Jr. However, I believe I just saw that he popped up on the injury report. Yes, he did. Just a few hours ago, they added that he was limited with an ankle injury today. So Odell, the glass jar of a receiver. I would never. Odell, as good as he was, had maybe one good season, and then every other year he was hurt for half the season, and it looks like it may be that way here. I think Zay Flowers is going to be a fantastic wide receiver for Lamar. Let's hope that he can really add to his passing game. It is actually deceivingly good when you look at his numbers. I'm obviously going to choose Houston. I don't think is going to be good this year either. I just don't. They need a few. They added some good pieces. I don't think they're going to put it together here. I think C.J. Stroud's going to struggle massively. So I'm going Ravens. So is Eric. Next is a divisional game. Packers at Bears. Okay, so Rodgers moves on to the Jets, and he takes with him Lizzie Lazard and Randall Cobb. That leaves the few rookies over there. Who you got? Watson and some other wide receivers that I can't remember, I'll be honest. They still have Aaron Jones. Now you got Jordan Love. Jordan Love's time. Maybe this will be another, when Favre left, gave Rodgers sat a few years, and then now, they bring Love in. Love sits for a few years behind Rodgers. We'll see. A lot of people have been hyping up the Love train over there in Green Bay. We will see. A lot of people are also hyping up Justin Fields. Justin Fields they obviously had the first pick and they traded it, and in that trade package they got DJ Moore. I think that's a fantastic move. DJ Moore is an absolute fantastic wide receiver. What I've been seeing from camp and a little preseason, that's going to be explosive. Can it connect in games though? We will see. A lot of people are putting early favorites that Fields is going to be MVP. I don't know about that. It would be interesting. I'm going to go ahead and take the Bears here. It is in Chicago. Obviously, Fields has more work with the ones than Love does. I think Love may need a few games to get into actual NFL rhythm. This may be where they split because I could see Love being very good this year. Very good. Obviously not like MVP caliber, but what I'm above what people think he could do this year. I'm going Bears, and so is Eric. Next game. I have not chosen this game. This is the Las Vegas Raiders at the Denver Broncos. Raiders obviously traded Derek Carr. And they got Garoppolo from San Fran. So Vegas Raiders will now be going with Garoppolo. They still have Devontae Adams and they still have Josh Jacobs. They also traded away I can't remember if he was traded or if he was, I can't remember, but they do no longer have Waller, their tight end. So this is a new Vegas team. Garoppolo has always been able to, when he was in San Francisco, get the ball away quick. The wide receivers do the work. I don't know if he has that type of talent around him. Adams is getting older. He is more of a stretch it guy than a more of a, Deebo Samuels, in Ayuk, those type of players. Josh Jacobs is obviously fantastic. You don't have your tight end Waller for the blanket. And then you go over to Denver, and Sutton has had some disappointing years. Judy can never stay healthy. Russ has looked very washed the past year and a half. What are they doing at running back? Both of these teams have massive question marks. New coach, however. In Denver, they have Sean Payton. And let's really see if they can correct the ship here in Denver. I think I'm going to go with Denver only because it's the home team. To me, this is a pure toss-up 50-50 split. I don't know. I will go Denver. And Eric is actually going Raiders. So there's another split for us. Next game is Eagles at Patriots. I'm not spending a lot of time here. You got Mac Jones over in New England who got Juju, who reports coming from somewhere. Sources say that Juju's knee can explode at any moment. They also picked up big boy Zeke. I don't know. He'll take all the rushing touchdowns away from Ramon Stevenson. The defense will be good over in New England, I'm sure. But Philly, it's Philly. They still have, I think, one of the best teams in the NFL. Philly's gonna take this game, I think, pretty easily too. And Eric also has Philly. So next game, this is actually a difficult game for me. This is the Miami Dolphins at LA Chargers. Both teams, I think, are fantastic. Herbert has underperformed, I think. I think Herbert's fantastic. He has fantastic talent around him. But for some reason, they're missing playoffs. They're losing playoff games. They're losing games they should win. I don't know what's going on. You look at a roster sheet from the Chargers, and you're like, this team they're stacked, but they can't put it together. And I don't know if that's coaching. That's one thing that maybe they have to look at, and if they miss the playoffs again, there should be no rhyme or reason. If you look at the Kansas City Chiefs roster and you look at their wide receiver sheet, they don't have wide receivers. You go over and you look at the Chargers, holy moly, they have wide receivers to spare. I think their run game, they have probably, let me think about that, Josh Jacobs, okay. But you have Austin Eckler can, man, out of the backfield, him and Josh Jacobs are up there. They're very close to tied. I don't know which one I would want at the moment over the two, maybe Josh Jacobs. But Eckler is no slouch either. So I'm not sure why LA is losing games that they shouldn't be. And then you go over to Miami, still have Tyreek Hill, still have Jalen Waddle. You have a plethora of running backs now who are fantastic. You have Tua. If Tua can stay healthy, my one concern is how many concussions he's been getting. One more concussion, and that might be it. That might be it. If he can stay healthy, Miami's going to be fantastic too. For me, though, this is the opposite. This is an East Coast team going West Coast. Now, it is a 4:25 game. This one should be easier for Miami. LA really isn't. You don't really have that home field advantage. They don't really come out and support like that. I think I am going to go LA Chargers. However, it would not surprise me if Miami won this. It really wouldn't. I'm going to go out on a limb and go Chargers here. Eric is taking Chargers as well. Next, we have the LA Rams at the Seattle Seahawks. Boy, the Rams, I don't know. Stafford's coming off an injury where it looked like maybe that injury would force him into retirement. You have Cooper Kupp, who can't stay healthy now all of a sudden. You can't get the pass game going. You can't get the run game going. The defense is faltering on you. And then on the other side, Geno Smith, who a lot of people were making fun of. I made fun of him at the start of last year. He comes out looking, before he got hurt, he was looking, almost like an MVP candidate. You still got DK. You still got Lockett. Now you've got JSN as a wide receiver who could really help Geno. You got a very good running back core too at the moment. If that defense can shore up, this is Seattle. I don't see the Rams being very good at all. I see Seattle actually taking a step forward, while San Francisco may actually take a step backwards. Maybe not a huge one, but a little bit. So I see Seattle taking this one pretty easily. Eric also has Seattle. Next, we move to Cowboys at Giants. Giants have a very good team. Dallas has a very good team. Dallas always has a very good team. And they always lose games they shouldn't. They always lose in the playoffs in the first round. Daniel Jones should be fantastic. If Saquon Barkley can stay healthy, they got a few wide receivers. I believe they got Paris Campbell from the Colts. I believe they got Okereke from the Colts too, which Okereke was fantastic. I think the problem is I don't think the Giants have beaten the Cowboys the last 10 times. That stat could be wrong, but I think it's been a very long time since the Giants have beaten the Cowboys. As much as I want to choose the Giants here, man, this is on Sunday Night Football too. Boy. I'm going to choose the Cowboys, and that pains me to do so. I'm going to choose the Cowboys. Eric chose the Giants. This may be one that I change, and I come back and I'll be like, hey, I changed this pick. Don't like that. Next one. This could be a very interesting game on Monday Night Football. The Buffalo Bills at the New York Jets, the new and improved New York Jets. You got Aaron Rodgers over there, and he brought Lizzie Lazard with him. You got Randall Cobb. He's already got Garrett Wilson with him. They got Dalvin Cook now over there, who he's not going to be starting. It's going to be Breece Hall, but Dalvin Cook will be integrated into that offense. Don't get it twisted. And then you got Buffalo Bills. You got Stephon Diggs, who doesn't want to be there. He wants out of Buffalo. He's beefing with the team somehow for some reason. Don't know why. You got Josh Allen, who I think actually took a step backwards. He threw more interceptions than he really should have. They need an actual run game. Can't seem to find it. However, they did draft a massive tight end in Kincaid. We are really going to see what this team does. Both of these teams. A lot of people have very high hopes for the Jets. A lot of people think that it's just a lot of talk and not a lot of, they won't put it together. A few years ago, Eagles did the same thing. This was quite a few years ago, but the Eagles made a lot of massive off-season moves, and I don't even think they made the playoffs. The Jets, though, I think are different. The Jets actually made a play to go get Aaron Rodgers. And, Manning, he moved teams. He won a Super Bowl. Brady moved teams. He won a Super Bowl. Then you look at Stafford. He moved teams. He won a Super Bowl. Is it going to be the same for Rodgers? I don't know. The pieces look good because the Jets' defense was fantastic last year. If that Jets defense can do it again, this offense can put it together. Watch out for the Jets. Do I think they put it together week 1? No, I don't. So I'm going with the Bills week 1. They could split this series. Next time they go around, Jets put it together. They figure it out. I'm going to go with the Bills. Eric has the Jets. So that is our week 1 predictions. Obviously, it would have been nice to have someone to bounce off of, but circumstances dictate. Next week will be better for you. We'll have both a recapping episode and then another pick'em episode. We're going to be doing 2 episodes. I'm not sure if we will loop back around to do the conclusion of our AFC NFC one. We may do a one-off conclusion of that one. I'm not sure. I'll have to get with Eric and Kevin and see if we can do that to close off the conclusion of the AFC predictions and our Super Bowl predictions. I just don't think it's right to conclude that without Eric since he started that with me. With that being said, football is 6:30. Football starts in just under 2 hours. So I'm going to go get ready for that. This episode should hopefully quickly turn around and be up to you guys on Sunday. We are going to really try to pump these out on Sunday for you guys. So hopefully we get more guests. I do have at least one set up. I just don't know what day. I'm going to try to get more as they come along. As stated before, with Eric and his situation that he stated last week, he will be out a few episodes. It shouldn't be a lot. I know for about 98% he won't be here next week, so I'll get my dad. So hopefully this episode turns out good. And with no Kevin here live, this one will look slightly different than when Kevin is here. But we are going to try to also work on redesigning our logo. We're going to try to work on getting an intro music and outro music with theme like we did last year. Those are things to come. Again, this is going to be a work in progress. You're going to see things slightly change and be tweaked. It's just how we discuss and talk about it. Season 2, especially with a new editor, losing a host, it's kind of like we are redesigning already, but sometimes that needs to happen. But we do want to try to get more content, so that is why I'll do this by myself. As much as I wish I had someone to bounce off of, I can still try to talk to you guys. So with that being said, you guys have a good weekend. Enjoy some football, and I will catch up with you guys next week. Peace out.